In June 2013, I attended what author and herbalist Stephen Harrod Buhner announced would be his last workshop. Held on the Swift Clean Meacham's River near Charlottesville, Virginia, it was a precursor to the 2014 publication of Buhner's book, Plant Intelligence and the Imaginal Realm, Beyond the Doors of Perception into the Dreaming of Earth. Over his long career, Buhner has created a large body of work, including what is considered by many as the go-to book for the treatment of Lyme disease. The opening paragraph of his latest book offers a test for determining whether it's meant for you. And I quote, "This book is a user's manual about the techniques and states of perception necessary for directly interacting with the Gaian system. In many respects, it is a manual for becoming a non-domesticated explorer of the natural world, something that used to be called, long, long ago, a natural philosopher, what might now be called a wild scientist, as opposed to a domesticated one." The second paragraph is equally intriguing. I quote, "Unlike the majority of books being written about the state of Earth/human relationship and the problems that face us, this book does not list all the troubles and then, at the end, call for more regulation, urge you to write your congressional representative, insist you recycle or buy an absurdly expensive, environmentally friendly car. This book is about how to actually think differently." While not that long ago a person who spoke of plant intelligence was considered nuts by both the scientific and cultural mainstream, research has begun to prove in concrete ways the reality of it. A recent story featured on the BBC informed us that plants have an internet too, just as invisible and powerful as ours. The host of the Today Show recently made much of the fact that there's more bacterial life in and on a human body than there is human. In his book, Buhner reminds us that the foundation and springboard for all life on the planet was, and continues to be, fungal and bacterial, and that complex bacterial communities live not only in and upon us, but upon and deep within the crust of Earth, which are just a couple reasons we need to be informed and concerned about things such as the overuse of antibiotics and the unknown dangers of technologies like fracking. Buhner further explains why the killing of old-growth forests, or the most mature of any species for that matter, is the equivalent of murdering elders and creating orphans. For when the parents and grandparents of any species are killed, who remains to pass down the wisdom? Written like a musical composition with two movements, a bridge and a coda, Plant Intelligence in the Imaginal Realm beautifully describes the experience of seeing the world from the world's point of view. Buhner issues strong warning against the dangers of reductionist science and linear thinking, strongly asserting that it's not about mechanics and technique nearly so much as it's about soul, energy, and spirit. He encourages in all humans in all their endeavors, from agriculture to medicine to science, an opening of the heart as we shift from analytical to analogical thinking. The book raises many questions. What will happen to the planet and the creatures which live on it when one species becomes so powerful it's able to disrupt the balance of every planetary system, from the microbes within its own gut to the rivers and streams it taints with its chemically adulterated urine? And how much are such ghastly technologies as mountaintop removal and sonar sea exercises disrupting Earth's natural rhythms? The answers to these questions, as well as solutions to some of the problems they pose, may well lie in our reconnection with the wild. For by killing off the wild, we kill off also, as Buhner is so well aware, a not insignificant part of ourselves. One of the things Buhner is fond of saying is that nature loves sex. He perceives the universe as constantly engaged in lovemaking, from the Big Bang to the falling of rain to the licking of nectar by the hummingbird. And nature's patterns repeat themselves. In the workshop, we contemplated what it meant that the female human reproductive system is almost identical to that of a flower, and that the human male reproductive system is the female system in reverse. Graphics in the book demonstrate that the surfaces of human skin, leaves, and dragonfly wings all bear the same strikingly similar cellular pattern. The neural and hormonal systems of plants are also equally similar to, and as complex as those of humans. Modern humans generally don't view the world as anything but backdrop, but in Plant Intelligence, Stephen Buhner eloquently explains the importance of recognizing that the world is actually foreground, center stage. He writes of the need to redevelop our sense of not me, not only recognizing but respecting the fact that the not me has awareness of its own. In other words, you may not be aware of it, but it is aware of you. Buhner is passionate that the metaphysical background of the world is where we find truth. After reading this book, you'll understand why the answer is not factory farming, but wilder farming, and that which works to retain and restore as much of the wild earth as possible is that which we must support. Often while reading the book, you may come upon a passage, a paragraph so profound you have to stop, be still, put the book down and let what you've just absorbed sink in. It would be difficult to count all the pages I've personally dog-eared, all the passages I've highlighted, all my notations in ink. The topics the book covers are broad and diverse. They're scientific, but also deeply spiritual. This is a text beneficial not only to herbalists and integrative healers, but to scientists, psychologists, and psychiatrists alike. To anyone, in fact, who longs to become integratively aware. It's a book I'll return to for consultation, for comfort, for the rest of my life.